Come on, man. Fuck! Yeah! But they were, they played a couple gigs, I think. I mean, I didn't know the extent of it. I was still very young, but I remember them playing a lot in, family gatherings.
Yeah.
And they were dead on, man.
When did you get to see them in a public setting play?
Never.
None of them?
No, none of them, because I was way too young. By the time I started coming of age, once again, they had gone separate ways. My brother Brian. All right. My brother Brian had an incident with a guy in the neighborhood. The guy had owed him money. And Brian was 18 years old when this happened. And he went to go collect his money, and this guy was notorious. The guy's name was Jonell. And the guy was notorious for keeping a gun on him. He was notorious for fucking people over. And this is back in, late 70s, so not everybody had gunplay back then, not everyone. If one guy got a gun in that neighborhood, you knew it.
Yeah.
All right, well, anyway, so Brian went and bought a 38. He didn't want to kill the guy. He didn't want to hurt the guy. He just wanted his money. My brother was, he had his moments. He had his moments with him, but he was still a beautiful human being. And he just wanted his money. He went and knocked on the door, and the guy's wife answered the door, and Brian could see the man walking toward the hallway, and he dipped into an end table. And my brother, being smart, ran out of the yard and took a position, told me, I just want my money. And the guy came with a 357, and Brian popped him. And a crack shot hit him smack dab in the heart, dead center, and the dude dead put his ground. That was in that. So, but I had never seen him in a professional setting. I saw my dad DJ in a professional setting over at White's Inn, over up Fillmore, another family ran joint.
Yeah.
And he had the crowd rocking, bro. And my pop played all the grades. I mean, he played all the grades. Like my dad just had an ear for music, what would make a crowd really move. And the way that he would set it up, his playlist, the way that he would set it up, with him it was more than just doing a top 40 thing, see what songs are popular. It was his set list that made it groove. He just
How did that impact, and how old were you? How did that impact you?
Deeply. It made my music more of an obsession, because I love seeing that reaction from something that you're doing.
Yeah.
It impacted me so well that my side project I aptly named 1016, because that's my mom's address. I can't tell the street, but that's where it all began. Was at that address. My impact on music.
Gotcha.
My love affair. Music has been with me both as entertainment, as disciplinary action, and as a fallback. It's something I retreat to, like my saving grace.
Sure, it's a crutch for a lot of people, and a saving grace.
I remember I was, once again, still a kid, man, like probably 5, 6 years old, and I had been fucking up at school. All these deal with me fucking up. I had been raised in hell at school, and I got sent home. And Mom tore my ass up, as moms do. And I fell asleep on the living room floor, man. I was crashed out. And Mom woke me up, and on Channel 12 was Janis Joplin at Woodstock.
Oh, shit.
Yep, that was my first, big thing that sunk in me. And I was like, man, and I'm watching this little white chick, welcome, just belting this shit out, bro.
Yeah.
And I didn't move. And then, so now it has my attention. And then later on that night, I saw the man himself. I saw this guy right here, Jimi Hendrix, get up on stage, man, and do things with a guitar I couldn't think would be done. By the way, I'm 6 years old at this point.
Okay.
I'm in kindergarten,
so
bro.
There's a little flashback.
Right.
I think there's a progression, right? I mean, as a kid first discovered things, and as adults we don't realize this is happening, but a kid hears a song on the radio, or he sees a music video or something, that's a performer. That's a superstar. That's not me or you or dad or mom. That's them. But then you had musical people in your family, so he got to see music being made by people that you felt equal to.
All the time.
Right. And then fast forward to when you see your dad as a DJ, you get to see him impact the crowd
Bro.
and be a performer kind of equal to the people that we see on TV. Like there's a progression, and as a child, they don't realize they could do that themselves.
One of the major performances that I saw my dad DJ at, we gave a dinner to my brother with his issues, with his jail things. Brown was in jail during the time from the killing. And it was across the tracks where we lived at, and bro, this place was packed. I mean, it was a dinner. It was the first time I actually had to see my dad do a thing at the DJ. And this thing, when you're a kid, I guess it went on forever, but I was there for about 2 or 3 hours. Everybody was on the dance floor. And I mean, not one person I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, not one time I can remember that the crowd dissipated. And my dad was spinning records. That's all he was doing.
Yeah.
But it was his set list that got motherfuckers moving.
Yeah.
And bro, he closed out the night. Oh my God. Closed out the night with the end all be all. He closed out the night with the Jackson 5's Who's Loving You? When I met you. Bro. And this is a slow song. It's a slow blues song, dude, by the Jackson 5. It's an old Smokey Robinson song. And bro, the people went from, it's a slow song, you think they'd be slow dragging. Fuck no. They had everybody on that dance floor, I would say about maybe 150, 200 people, singing along with this record and singing, like belting out.
Yeah.
Oh, and dude, my pops had some speakers with that old TV speakers that he built. Had an 18 at the bottom, 15 to 12 on top. This thing was like this wide, about 5 feet tall. I could hear them over that shit. And I'm behind his disco machine, you know, that's what we call it.
Right.
And if I can find a photo, I'll show it to you. But bruh, that made such an impact on me. I'm like, this is what I want to do. Okay, I don't give a fuck if I get paid for it or not. I mean, you know, obviously my pop's doing pretty well with it, and the crowd loves it.
And this is 12 again?
Let's see, this was in 78. This is in 1978, because my brother had killed a guy in 78.
How old?
5.
5.
5 at the time.
It's hard to keep a 5-year-old's attention span, much less mesmerize them.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're a cartoon or some shit. So, you know,
Yeah.
maybe you were born with the spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I couldn't
You had
help
it in
it.
you already.
I couldn't help it. And a lot of guys I work with in the bands that I work with, they don't really understand my obsession with doing this, you know? I mean, it's not about, with me, it's not about notoriety. It's not about, it's not about getting to that next level, so to speak. It's my literal saving grace. It's my second soul, man.
Yeah.
You know? And when I watched my dad close out with that Michael Jackson song, with the Jackson 5 song, I had already known that when Michael Jackson had did that, he was my age at the time when he had sung that piece. And I'm watching these people, these grown ass like drunk ass men, you know, walking around hot toddies and shit, belting out the words being sung by a 5-year-old.
Right.
And I'm trying to sing along, doing a horrible job at it. And Pop tapped me up and shit, man, and I'm watching. At that point, it became my disease, you know. At that point, I wish I could create something that can make people move the way that those people move.
Sure.
You know.
Sure. So, fast forward to when you start making your own moves, when you start trying to get into your own band, start your own bands, things that like. What was your focus? Like, what was your idea? What instrument were you playing?
I was playing drums. I was playing drums at the time. I was hugely playing drums at the time.
How old?
16.
16?
I was 16. I mean, I had already been playing drums in high school and all that shit, you know. But my first band that I actually went out and played with, oddly enough, the show at the Municipal Auditorium, which was with my 2 cousins at the time, they had hired a drummer without my knowing. And I had been practicing with these guys for 2 years. And the guy's name, Trey, you know him, Kufaru.
Kufaru, yeah.
Kufaru.
He used to work at HB with us.
Yep. The guy, Kufaru, who at the time was a serious fucking conga player in New Orleans, a serious guy. It was a reggae band called House of Dread. And that would be my first band that actually went out and played. There was a band before that, we only played one gig, and that was a rap. Band called Never Fall. But anyway, I get to the Municipal Auditorium, and the guys had already hired Kafaru, and they did not tell me about it. And me and my cousin showed up, all my drums and shit. And my cousin Wade looked at me and goes, what do you want to do, man? We can go home, or we can go out there. What you want to do? I'm here, man, let's do it. What can I do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna set up something for you. So my cousin set up his pedals, his effects pedals, for me to get up on stage and perform anyway. And it was the most embarrassing time in my life, but at that time, it was a learning experience if there ever was one. Because this fucking municipal, it was sold out. It was sold out, bro. And I got up on stage thinking I'm gonna play drums. And I had to adjust on the spot, you know? I was crushed, I was hurt, I was betrayed, but I was also learned that night.
Sure.
That, you know, it's a live gig, bro. Shit's gonna happen, it's out of your control. Not everything's gonna go the way you want it, you just have to duck and cover and move forward.
Yeah.
And I got up on stage playing Black Uhuru and fucking Irie Vibration type shit. You know, guess who's coming to dinner? Pew, pew, pew. Trying to look cool, pew. And I was dressed to the nines, bro. You know, I'm sitting up here, bro, pushing little buttons on these pedals, and Kufaru is lighting the crowd up. I'm like, motherfucker. But I didn't break, I didn't duck, I didn't cover, I didn't cower.
Yeah.
I got up on stage knowing I had been fucked over, knowing I had been, well, it's a biz.
Yeah, there were a lot of social elements in the background going on at that time.
Yep.
Sure, and in front of the crowd.
And
Where
then
did you move on to from there?
I went back to playing for Never Fall, which actually worked out better, which is a band done by me, Adam Haley, my friend Adam Haley, and John Williams. We were a three-piece, kind of a Rush type thing, Saga type thing, progressive rock type thing. And oddly enough, I would be using my brother's drum kit, big ass 12-piece gelatinous thing.
Yeah.
And we went out and played the New Orleans Music Hall at the time. We were on stage with Imani Manzi's son, husband, I forgot the guy's name. We went and played, I think Big Son was on that, Exhibit A, and Dead-Eye Dick. And my good friend Matt Beeson was there tonight. They opened up for us at Muddy Waters. This is an awesome story, bro. So Dead-Eye Dick gets on stage, they do their thing, and Never Fall, we had the headline because Dead-Eye Dick had something going on, it had to be somewhere, it didn't matter. But they stayed, Matt Beeson stayed and watched the play, who wanted to become one of my good friends later. So Never Fall doing that thing on stage at Muddy Waters. The last song, I'm doing the new purple, you know, the whole big rock thing.
Right.
I hit the last note and found out that somebody, for some reason, had put a door behind the drum riser on Muddy Waters. So when I did this thing, the centrifugal force threw me back on the door, and I fell right out that motherfucker.
Sweet.
Right in front of it. I got Exhibit A and Manny and them from Dead-Eye Dick, you know, outside talking like I'm flying out. And what the fuck? I'm like, bruh. I ran backstage, finished the set, bro. So, that was beautiful, man.
That is. You, from there, you joined another band or went into a new band, started a new band? What did you do?
Band called Kane, which oddly enough, Never Fall was getting picked up by Sony. And as things were going through.
At that time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we were making good moves. We had a beautiful manager by the name of Miss Denise Ori. She is largely responsible for my now new addiction. She stepped my addiction up for rock and roll. Because here I am, at the time, about 18 years old, and I'm talking to the A&R guy from Sony at our rehearsal, bro. And, you know, we're talking drums. I'm like, bro, this is the shit. I mean, you know, this is cool. And I can one-up my family. And they get another adoration. I'm like, hey, guess what? I'm about to get signed, bitches. But I'm sitting there, I'm talking about all these people, man, and all they wanted to put Never Fall, to make it official, we needed a bassist and a rhythm guitar player. So I contacted Mike Prado, and a guy by the name of Brad. I forgot Brad's last name. I'm sorry, Brad, if you listen to this thing. I forgot Brad's last name. Brad Rishu. Ha!
There you go.
Brad Rishu.
On the books.
On the books. His family had owned a line of shell stations. They're doing pretty well for themselves. But anyway, so I contacted Mike and Brad, who had been jamming with a band called Sherbert K. I said, listen, Never Falls Gold, something happening with it. Look, we need a rhythm guitar player and a bassist. Let's make this happen. So we made it happen. They signed on. We're about to make things go, and Adam and John decided school was more important, and they were right, because Adam Haley will go on doing work for Steve Vai. John Williams, I think, became a banker or some shit, I don't know. But
So
Adam,
band disbanded.
it disbanded, and I would form Kane in that process.
All right, and this is what year?
This is now in 89 actually.
89.
89 actually.
Okay.
In the 90, Kane's now really, really playing. We had started playing shows in the Abstract. Oddly enough, we had played with Green Day at the Abstract when they were really starting out.
What was Abstract?
The Abstract was a bookstore off Magazine Street. It was all age club, bro, and man, it was kind of like the CBGBs of New Orleans. That's the best way I can put it. It was like the end all be all. I mean, we had Dang Bro White, Apostasy, Kane, Abuse played there.
White Zombie made it famous.
Yep, White Zombie made it famous.
Behind the facade is an innocent-looking bookstore.
That's right. One of Phillips' projects called The Satanic had played there. It was a shithole if you really want to look at it, but it was the best shithole.
Yeah.
It was a place where all the kids can go and have something to do, bro. You know what I mean? Like this parking lot, what it was, there was a garage in the back. Literally a garage, okay? And somebody had built the stage. PA system was almost non-existent. And they had built this rickety tower with one Parcan light. That was your lighting guy.
Yeah.
He had this fucking power strip. You just click back and forth. That was it, It was awful. But it was the atmosphere, man. It was the ambiance, it was the atmosphere. It was, you couldn't to go any more underground, you would call it Hades.
Yeah.
Or,
I get
a Valhalla.
It's the fucking
To
petri
get
dish,
any more
bro.
underground than that, you could not.
It's the fucking petri dish, man.
It was.
That's where the shit grows.
But dude did it. It grew like an oak,
Yeah.
A lot of bands got there, I guess, I can't say start there, but from my understanding, that's where you had to go, if you really want to branch out, to network. And believe me, look, if you couldn't get gigs after playing the Abstract, one of two things. One, you either totally sucked, which was impossible, okay, or you just weren't networking. You just weren't meeting bands. As a matter of fact, Abuse. We had a show with Abuse. It was Abuse, God Awful, Omnisense, and I think Southern Rage was on that gig. It was like 6-band night, 7-band night. And the place was incredibly packed. And that's where I had met Brian Strong and Jeremy Young and Jason Ramsey. And for lack of a better term, we didn't really hit it off too well because Abuse was doing that thing, Kane had its own thing going on, but genre-wise. So, but we tried to be friendly with each other, but I don't think we hit it off very much. So I was later running to Brian Strong and Jeremy over at Lollapalooza, a couple years after that. And through many a beer and shot, Brian said, yeah, man, I want to play Zeppelins. I'm like, shit, bro, Kane plays Zeppelins all the time. Fuck, I bring y'all down. And the rest was history. And all because of the Abstract, man.
Yeah.
Back then, it was just wall-to-wall musicians and artists and just all-around eccentric motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And I'm all of them,
What, it's funny you bring that up. Kick around for a bit, what you talking about, the impact, if any, that Zeppelins had on the rock scene. Just, what was it? What did it do? I know it was a little monster. I used to go in and out of there myself and couldn't tell you half the times.
That depends on who you talk to, because see, by this time,
This is the early 90s.
Right, by the Zeppelins era,
Yeah.
people had adopted, and please forgive me for saying this, once again, this comes from the mind of Levi. people had adopted the Kurt Cobain rule. Like, if it's cool, it sucks. So, coming from me, I'm going to tell you, man, Zeppelin's, as far as I'm concerned, from my standpoint, was fucking phenomenal, man. I mean, shit. Could you think of a time you can go see Crowbar for $5? I can. I was there.
Hey, bro, Fat City was a gem. Don't get me to talking.
Dude, look. You had Crowbar, you had Obituary, you had Seven Dust. Kane actually wanted tour with Seven Dust because we had showed up to play Zeppelin on a Thursday night. And the one of the opening bands who was on that tour couldn't do it. And Kane showed up, bro. We fucking played our asses off. And we hit it off pretty good with LJ, with LeJean. Mm-hmm. And he said, look, man, we got to do it over the weekend. Not a fucking thing. Can y'all do about 4 dates, 5 dates, something like that?
Sweet.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
We ain't doing shit, we're young, let's do it. So we threw all our shit in this fucking minivan, sorry about that, and followed Seven Dust, bro.
Nice.
I mean, we weren't on the bill, obviously. Like, our job was to warm up the PA. Okay.
No, but so far as Zeppelins goes, it was
phenomenal.
It was another cog in the transmission.
It was a mecca.
Yeah.
It was once again, from my standpoint. Anybody reading this or hearing this, oh, that dude. No, from my standpoint, Fat City, which is where I meet that motherfucker at right there. I'll tell you about that one. Yeah, let me rest you guys a little bit. No, I'm sorry. We'll get back to Zeppelins. For me, bro, it was kind of a mecca, bro. I mean, I saw some Morbid Angel, Obituary. I think Sepultura had played there. I went there that night. Anal Cunt. I had the guys from Anal Cunt hanging out at my house.
Seth Putnam?
Yep, I had Seth Putnam all them hanging out at my house, bro. I lived on Hesmer. Zeppelins was that joint, okay? Not the biggest venue on the planet, but the PA was incredible, bro.
Yeah.
Zeppelins could shake walls.
Yeah.
You know.
Norris Como?
Yeah, no, thank you, Norris.
I don't think the fucking size matters too much, dude.
Right.
The smallest venue I ever saw crowd surfing at was fucking Ski Lodge.
Get on that one. Get on that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So look. So the way I understood to me, you had Abstract first. If you're old enough, you could play RC Blues around.
At that time.
At that time.
What about Big Top? Was
I never
Big
played
Top
there.
up yet?
I never played there.
Was that later on?
That'd be right
Mid-90s?
around. That'd be right around Zeppelin's at its pinnacle. I heard about Big Top, but I never played.
Okay.
But Ski Lodge is where I met this dude at, and that's before we had played Zeppelins. We had to play in the pit area because there's a pool table area in the Ski Lodge. You had to walk down to it.
Yeah.
So I had to put my drum kit on this pool table, and the rest of the band had played underneath me. I had a bad day at the funeral home. So I drive up my little Nissan Pulsar. I had my entire 10-piece kit in the fucking car. Don't ask me how.
Roger.
So I get there, I put my kit on this fucking thing, and standing on the bar of Ski Lodge, 8-finger tapping, doing shots, smoking cigarettes, talking shit with him. We had played with his band called Genocide at the time. And right after that gig, I think about a month or so after that, we got a call from Planet to go to the Neworleans Music Hall and play with them, a band called Meat Jack, and Gwar, and then Raw. Gwar spelled backwards. And bro, that was insane. Okay, that was insane because we had Genocide would be Kane's brother band. Okay, so we play around with them, and I ain't left that nigga side since, bro. And so after that would be the Zeppelins thing, and then I would discover Last Stop, which is where the heavies hung out. Kirk and all them hung out at.
Yeah.
And but that was a beautiful part. I actually had to hear I got a chance to hear the Down Nola record demo. Philip had brought it in, sometime after midnight when the crowd had thinned out, and it was him in there, and I heard Temptations Wing, and Underneath Everything, and Eyes of the South.
Yeah. Wow.
And I looked at him like, look, man, I don't know if you know, but dude, that's some badass shit, bro. That's the first time I've ever seen Last Stop.
Yeah.
When Underneath Everything came on, but it sounded like ZZ Top on steroids.
Yeah. That's fucking dope.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So that was my eye opener.
So let's get into your current project you mentioned earlier, 1016.
It's a callback or a tribute to the house I grew up in which my love and obsession, Trey, obsession, right? Not even a word?
Obsession would be putting it fucking lightly.
Right. Where my obsession for music grew. And not just music in general, just, look, man, my brother Avery, once again, one of the best body and fitting men I've ever seen, ever. And I grew up in that world, and I grew up in the funeral home world. We built cars, played football, worked on dead people, played music. That's what life was like for me in that residence. Mm-hmm. That, I mean, we did those, we were like quintessential 70s family, okay? But that project is it's a call to arms to that. It's very simple. It's bluesed out, very bluesed out, you know, mainly from my dad and my mom and just everybody else, but mainly from those two because, well, obviously, you know, without them I wouldn't be here. And just the experiences I had growing up there and raw, not contrived, not pretentious. I mean, shit, but I'm just using 2-finger chords. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even playing 4 chords. That's how stripped down I want this shit to be.
All right. So sonically, we got what the scope is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Where is it supposed to? What is it supposed to grow into? What do you have in store? What would you like to see it become?
A disease to infect as many people as I possibly can.
All right, I dig that, but in what forms? How? Are you want to gig local and then branch out, and then you're trying to build a tour from there? I mean,
I would like to build a tour, yes.
What is it supposed to present itself as to others once it is what you envision it to be? You see what I'm saying?
Not really.
How are you going to present it? How are you going to present it to people? You're going to come out with an album, and then you're going to tour based on that album?
Yes, I would like to.
Okay.
I would like to. I'm sorry, man. With me in that
probably
project.
made that much more difficult than it needed to be.
No. It's a very good question.
I'm trying to figure out what your vision is for it, and how that plays into the coming months.
Well, I guess the best way I can put it, the vision is there's really no vision. It's kind of like touch and go, almost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, look, okay, put it like this. Same vision that Robert Johnson had, the same vision Lead Belly had. They had no vision. They just did it. Yeah. You know? But thank you, it was a good question, but you actually stumped me on that one. You know, believe it or not, I was like, what the fuck? Nah, man, it's, once again, as I said before, I want to infect as many people as possible. How I do it is how I get done. But like I said, the same vision that Robert Johnson and Lead Belly and Sonny Boy Williamson had, they didn't have a vision, they just did it. Yeah. You know? Go back to our incoming singer, a woman by the name of Jennifer Leach. She just sings, okay? I mean, she has her approach, but she sings. It doesn't matter which tuning I'm in. All those guitars are tuned differently. Well, but most of them are. But it doesn't matter if, okay, how about, I'm put it like this, right? If you say, well, we're tuned to C to the average person, the vision they mind, they gotta get on, growling shit. No, it's just the tuning, it's just the key, okay? Right, it's just the fucking key, bro. But this woman, she finds a note and she attacks the note. And I've only worked with her about 2 or 3 times already, and I'm deeply enthralled with her accepting of the art form. Awesome. The reason why we're tuned to C and the other tunings and still playing the blues shit is to show to everyone you don't have to do blast speed to be heavy, you know? And once again, a lot of shit I'm playing is just the same old blues technique, the call and response technique. Yeah. Which like this, if you do this lick in the key of C, it turns out this is 8/440. Slow it down and put the shit like it's here, it comes to something like this. It has a whole different meaning. So I'm going to do this shit is to get rid of that whole deathcore, metalcore, bluescore, whatever the fuck you want to call it core. It's all rock and roll, man.
Yeah.
You know? So that's all I want to do with that shit, man.
Run down who's in the band, full name if you got it.
Trey Heflin, my brother in arms over there, who's my turd posture.
Hi.
He's my turd posture. Trey and I, you know, I gotta say it, man. I have to say, I gotta admit to it. My best friend, my brother in arms. In fact, he even wrote a song about him. But anyway, we've been butting heads, you know, on the whole creation aspect of it.
Creative process. That's your creative process. Other set of horns to buck with. Gotcha.
Trey,
This is fucking weird, man. Like, look, this is his baby. Like,
but he can't.
You don't understand.
But he
It's
can't.
his baby. I try to introduce nuances to him, like try this, do this, and
Yeah.
I think it's stuck in his fucking ways, dude. You know,
Hard-headed, bro.
two ways.
But I've been
all
giving
good.
in lately. I've been giving in lately.
He don't want a yes man, I can tell you that.
No.
I don't know him that well, but from what I do know of him, yes men are bullshitters, and
Right.
neither
The
one of us
fact they even got
appreciate
this
that.
motherfucker to agree to a fucking like a standard tuning was like,
Yeah. That's
Right.
a starting point. So
Right.
run down who's in there so we don't lose that.
Okay, so it's Trey Heflin,
On.
my turd posture on guitar.
Okay.
Jennifer Leach, who's our singer, Jamie Cluat on bass, and well, we're in between drummers right now. Right now I'm talking to a guy, talking to two guys. So it's in the rebuilding process now. On the EP that we're trying to finish up, Tiger Agnelli singing.
Okay.
Brian Ordoin, who I grew up with playing drums, phenomenal fucking drummer. He's one of the premier go-to guys in the city right now, man. He's playing with Blackwater Canal, Gangbro Y, all kinds of people. And Jamie Cluat.
All right.
So Jamie's been with me since the beginning.
Jamie's on what?
Bass.
Okay.
I want my daddy's Vegas.